Hello, I'm Dennis Oliver Woods, creator of Kingsway Classical Academy. We're the world's first online classical Christian academy for junior high and high school, with grades 4 to 6 soon to come. And what I'd like to do briefly is share with you a new approach to education that utilizes, number one, the power of the internet to cut costs to the lowest possible level, and number two, returns education to the way it used to be before the government got hold of it. It used to be that education taught people to think analytically and speak persuasively, not just parrot back isolated facts on a test like they do in the government schools today. You know, every time government gets involved in something else beyond its basic biblical task of enforcing justice in the courts, it messes things up big time. You know that, and I know that, and education is no exception. Let's face it, folks, government education is a mess, and there's just no fixing it. All it does is suck up millions of dollars of tax money to give government bureaucrats a plush retirement while the rest of us struggle to make ends meet. Did you know that the Portland Oregonian reported recently in a 2007 study they did, an informal research study, that public school graduates said the biggest thing missing from their education was number one, critical thinking skills, and number two, communication skills. That's what education is all about. These skills are priceless, and they've been built into the fabric of every course at Kingsway for only $500 annual tuition. This is education the way it was meant to be before the government got hold of it, a classical Christian education. This is not some highbrow prep school. Every child needs this training no matter what their career path. Now, if you're a Christian parent, you probably wouldn't place your child in an Islamic school, would you? Just doesn't make sense. Then why is it that so many Christians place their kids in an atheistic school where God is outlawed without even batting an eye? There's something wrong with this picture. When God tells us in Psalm 1 regarding the education of our children to sit not in the seat of the scornful nor stand in the way of sinners, it's presumptuous for us as parents to disobey God and place our children in an atheistic government school system. The other thing that every child desperately needs is a biblical worldview, and that's something they'll never get in the government schools. The biblical worldview scores of Christian kids in government schools have dropped dramatically for the past 20 years. The only kids whose worldview scores have risen are those with a classical Christian education approach and a few other small groups. So I invite you to examine our course offerings below. Step into the time machine, take a little trip through history and see how all these courses tie together, and then go ahead and enroll in our $500 per year diploma program. At this price, there's no longer any reason for any Christian child to remain in the atheistic government schools. So let me welcome you to Kingsway on behalf of myself and my staff of expert teachers. These are the best of the best, assembled from all over the nation, and they're available to answer all your questions and give you the classical Christian education that every child deserves.